This video is designed to help you build the skill in dealing with functions and composite functions. So the first thing we're going to do is back up a little bit and just talk about functions. When I am asking you here to find g of -2, all I'm asking you to do is plug in -2 for x and to look for the g function. So in this case, I'm looking at the g function, which is in blue up here, and I'm going to plug in a -2 whenever I see the x. So it's exactly the same, only I've replaced all the x's with the -2. A common error is that people forget that x is -2, so that means you're squaring the whole thing, and -2 when I square it is +4. The other thing is a negative times a negative is a positive, so that's +6, and then -10. This ends up being 10 minus 10, which is 0. That tells me that g of -2 is 0. Now, a composite question would be like, find f of g of -2. Well, we just found g of -2. And when we found g of -2, we found out that it equaled 0. So what we're really looking for is f of 0, which we just found. So you start on the inside and you find this first. And then you plug that in for f, the f function for x in the f function. So I see x is up here, 7 times x plus 1. So this is going to be 7 times 0 plus 1. So just replace the x with a 0. All right, composite functions, kind of full-blown here. So in general, what I'm doing is I'm just taking this function, which in our case, that function is x squared minus 3x plus 10. So I'm going to take x squared minus 3x plus 10, and I'm going to plug that in for all the x's in that f function. Now remember, f of x was 7x plus 1. But now, and you know, if you don't want to think about that as being x, think of it as being smiley face or something. Now I'm going to take x squared minus 3x plus 10, and I'm plugging it in for wherever I see that variable in the f function. So 7 times x squared minus 3x plus 10 plus 1. So again, this came from the g of x. Okay, and then you can simplify that if you want to. It doesn't really matter to me because the big part of this is that you understand composite functions. All right, and the other way around, I'm just going to write these functions again. Remember that f of x was 7x plus 1, and that g of x was x squared minus 3x plus 10. This time I'm being asked to take the 7x plus 1 and plug it in for all the x's in the g function. So now, instead of being x squared minus 3x plus 10, instead of writing an x there, I'm going to put the 7x plus 1. And then you can go ahead and simplify that. 7x plus 1, when I square it, would be 49x squared plus 14x plus 1. And then when I distribute this, I get negative 21x minus 3. And then I can simply combine like terms if I've got them. And 14x minus 21x is minus 7x. And 1 plus 10 is 11. That is composite functions. And you should practice those. There's a skill builder or a checkpoint in the back of your book that will help with that too.